Hello, welcome to Vast Air again. Oh, I've not done a thing. I've not done this for a while, actually. It's been a while. A few weeks at most. I've just not been in the mood, really. But anyway, I'm gonna go back into it because I've got nothing better to do. Yeah, we finished Act 1 last time, so moving on to Intermission 1 now. And we are back with, this individual. I'm pretty sure it's already established that this is the narrator of both this and Snowbound Blood, so, yeah. It is good to see you again. The last display was quite a spectacle, was it not? If it's only served to raise more questions in certain regards, it has been a great joy to see the pieces of a narrative come together with due gravitas and flair for a finale. Speaking of questions, I'm sure you're more than a few regarding what you just saw, correct? Well, you're absolutely delighted to provide you with some insight. Of course, there are only certain key points I'm allowed to bring to your attention. I don't want to spoil the story, after all. I do not worry about the time. Grand scheme of our adventure together, I promise you this diversion will be but a minuscule blip in the radar. I'd like to start by telling you a bit more about myself. So our interaction so far, I've yet to disclose more than a mere moniker. Okay, this is... sounds a bit loud. Oh. My computer's going a bit slow recently, which has been a pain. Much less the role I meant to play in this story. For shame. You have to forgive my penchant for obscuring dramatics. Quite brazen for a character who's meant to be facilitating your observation of events to insist on, but we all have our quirks. Please follow me for a short while. I do hope your eyes will not suffer more than a background strain as we go forward. Well, the static isn't a, thingy anymore. Enter name. My name, as I have previously stated, is White Noise. Okay, so when White Noise comes, you know you're about to get a big exposition dump, so be ready for that. Every time we get with him. I'm the Eternal Guardian tasked with presiding over the solitary universe and all that it encompasses. The All-Mother of Life and Existence, Caparia, created me to act as the mediator between her creations and those of her split equal, Gaion, the Nord Father who influences all that remains. So, we have seen these before. We've heard of Caparia. And we've definitely heard of Gaion. We've seen him at some point in Snowbound Blood. I was to be the first of many beings similar to myself, had my making not been abruptly torn asunder by her equal, left weakened and confined to the single life-bearing world she was able to craft beforehand. My personal domain is all that separates the remnants of her essence from the so-called perfection of him. This planet, which I have looked after for many eons, expires and is born anew in constant cyclical pattern. As it in its universe shift after death, so does my own form, a personal memento of the worlds and lives that were lost. Currently, I preside over Repeton, whom of her species referred to as trolls, and the 12 heroes that we have been observing. In every universal instance, these 12 souls are destined to manifest at the same time, so that they may find communion inside a medium. This is achieved through participation in a game of my own design, a game devised with the express goal of documenting each iteration of reality and, ultimately, restoring my creator to her former beauty. To that end, this present iteration holds what I believe to be a perfectly crafted failsafe. I must hope it will serve its purpose, as this attempt is the very last that I will be able to oversee, and I am fated to return to All-Mother at its conclusion. All that aside, I suppose I can condense who I am to two topics of interest. I am a storyteller, and a family man. Where are we? Where are we? Where are we? Our current location is called the Static, my aforementioned domain. It exists outside the bounds of our narrative, separated from the universe you have come to know. Do you want to play or not? You know what, fine. Here, physicality is malleable, and there is no set beginning or end to things, only me and the components of my willed kin. This realm's purpose is to act as a barrier between life and the cold embrace of the void, enshrouding the outskirts of existence with my essence that the Nordfather has rendered incapable of breaking through and finishing what he started. It also doubles as my personal living space, providing me with all I need in order to maintain my work. How do I obtain and preserve resources in this visually embraced emptiness? Well, for now, let's say that I possess a very active imagination. What is the game? This as of yet mysterious game is not of any intrinsic importance. Its value lies in serving as a stepping stone for our heroes, devised to propel their development forward so they may seize their destiny. A mere plot device, if you will. What did I use as a tool to guide and enlighten? Each of its former iterations, while in a constant state of fine-tuning, have always held the same purpose. It has sadly never worked as fully intended, despite my tireless work to hone in the process over countless universal resets. Only now, as we ready ourselves for our final curtain draw, do I believe it to be a state fit to produce a successful outcome. Even so, the desired conclusion will be anything but easy to reach. There's our main 12. This game is yet to properly start, and I've already had need of invasive measures so as to ensure certain standards are met. An unfortunate necessity, I'm afraid. Sometimes the working of complex systems require a forceful hand. I must hope these precautions will prove sufficient. But enough of all its doom and gloom. What do you say we learn a bit more about our delectable cast on a metaphysical level? The participants of this game are souls bound to its confines, in and out of play. It is the reason they live, the reason they die, and the reason this cycle has repeated itself for so long. Deep inside these individuals, the aspects of existence lie dormant. The purest, most fundamental piece of reality, the fabric it is woven with. Shattered parts of a once collective whole, their intrinsic traits shape our players, and the paths they are to walk in life, whether they realize it or not. Taking only a giant facet of a person into consideration paints an incomplete picture, however. These controls stand in classes of all of their own. They have interests, thoughts, feelings, personal turmoils to work past, a way they see and engage with the world around them that is certainly entirely unique. But no matter how much they may change, the pull of aspect can still be felt underneath it all, a constant thrum of an insistent undercurrent beneath the skin, even marks down to the marrow. Pardon me. Oh. Come, let me illustrate these abstract ramblings a bit better. We shall take the scenic road through my humble abode. But first allow me a few seconds to share a word or two with my loving wife and child. They haven't seen me in quite a while, as my job requires a rather strenuous schedule. It's quite a lot of upkeep. Say hello. My dear Bonehilda, my little boner, I'm sure you are both as lively as ever, especially with all the festivities taking place today. Quite exciting, no? Oh, is that so? Well, Boner, you know the rules. Listen to your mother, and don't you take that tone of voice with me, young man. Have you forgotten that I am the one who provided you with this nothingness that you call home? Yeah, I'm not sure if White Noise is in full possession of his mental faculties. A question which I actually asked Austin on stream. Oh my fucking god. You see it too, don't you? You see it. Forgive my slight outburst, Boner's quite the troublemaker. He always says most outlandish things. Probably put him on t-shirts, coffee mugs, and who knows what else. He's going to grow up to be a star, I know it. Which I mean, he's eventually going to shine, darken, and explode, just like his dear old father. But let me go on and talk about family affairs. No more small talk. Here we are. Enter room. This is quite literally where the magic happens. I'd call this my workspace, even though the majority of what you see here is more facilitated by my hand, rather than crafted wholesale. I do possess a modicum of influence over the planet I watch over, of course, but these phantoms stored around the solitary universe are merely the natural conclusion of a tale that reaches its end. I simply organize the file and file them away, after all. It's important to keep in mind that the mistakes and shortcomings of the past, when we're looking toward the future, is not to repeat them. That it would be a shame for these stories to be permanently lost. Why don't you be left with no way to access them? Look at the lovely creature. Froggy. I started a religion about frogs the other day. I won't elaborate. Beautiful, isn't it? Such a young thing full of promise, cut its source before it even had the chance to flourish. I find its continued existence absolutely invaluable. This is why I've toiled away for so long. So the threat of oblivion inevitably rearing its ugly head time and time again. So part of me always feels shame over the prices that have been paid to this end. But in order for life to advance, sacrifices will be made. What is the alternative? If you're left with nothing, or after so many worlds decayed and living souls lost? No. I refuse to embrace the necrosis that so desperately wishes to claim reality for its own. And inevitably, certain players are always of the same mind when it comes down to it, even if it is at their own expense. Go further in. Last but not least, the Insipisphere, a self-contained pocket dimension where our game is to take place. This I can declare full authorship over. Unlike my creator, I cannot simply craft life. I can, however, make complex places and manipulate objects, keeping tangible and intangible non-living matter alike. These limited creations can be given a semblance of conscious thought, illusions of selfhood, nothing but mere simulacra, riding on a borrowed processing power, myself. We do have prior knowledge of some of these creatures gallivanting about their moons, as they have done so in all previous sessions. Oh, he's talking about the not consorts. What are they called? I forgot what they were called. Carapations, that's it. It is a similar endeavour to the way our cast projects themselves onto these moons, with the goal of giving a sense of livelihood to the places. A completely deserted celestial object would be quite a bleak sight now. I have a feeling things will be quite different from the usual fare this time around, however, particularly in relation to 4 of these non-player characters. In any case, we shall have to wait and see. Ah, I know who he's talking about. Our dear protagonist, who was just transported to an undisclosed location at the end of the last act, is on his way to the Insiposphere. He's the first to have officially entered the game, although from our perspective, we will not be seeing his arrival until much later. When it seemed narratively appropriate, there are still important players to get better acquainted with after all. Oh, why do you show some restlessness? A building eagerness to move along, perhaps? Well, I don't blame you in the slightest. In fact, I was quite expecting it. You see, I know much more about you than you may recognise at present. We've always had such a wonderful relationship, you and I. Truly, I have to thank you for so much of who I am that I find myself unable to express it through words. And that means a lot coming from me. That's the weird perspective. A parting thought. I would like to note that from this point forward, our story will be much less linear. I judge on your ability to keep your facts straight and your threads properly organised. Simply too much to show, far too much little time. I just added I just added much to that when it meant the opposite. I think it's an exercise in meticulousness. Details are of utmost importance, even if you don't notice them right away. In short, the training wheels have been removed. I hope you're ready for that. I still keep needing to burp. Oh, and it feels horrible. Rest assured, the next time we find ourselves in need of a pause, I will not be the one taking centre stage. I will, however, be making more frequent appearances as a whole. One needs to grasp at what little spotlight one has left. A selfish sentiment, but we must take comfort in the small pleasures. I suppose we could conceptualise these moments as a commercial break of sorts? A common affair, aren't they? But this one is drawing to a close, and let's go back to viewing our main programme. This is a very important scene. End of Intermission 1. Act 2. It is here that the most crucial character of our story makes itself known. Hello. Okay, I was going to end it here, actually, but I want to keep reading. I'm just so unfathomably bored. Maybe I'll keep reading so my mum gets back, I don't know. Enter name. Your name is Ellsee Rains. So, we've actually heard this name before in Snowbound Blood, if you remember, if you've watched that. You belong to a one-of-a-kind bloodline unique to yourself, your ancestor and your Ellsee. No one else on the entire planet, dead or alive, has ever shared the specific shade you have running through your veins. As such, your custodians have spent the majority of their time teaching you how to survive on the run from danger, scratching what you're able to from the environment around you. They came to you as soon as you were born, taking you in there as their own, and you love them all dearly, as maddening as their overprotectiveness what can be at times. A non-negligible amount of lost memories are far more familiar to you, due to the forgotten knowledge your Ellsee have entrusted you with. They are part of your inheritance, which also includes special artifacts your ancestor left you after her death. A enchanted book of ancient wisdom, and a hexed staff, all made with the skull of a creature you don't know much about. But we will. You spend a majority of time studying your books, which have taught you how to craft personal incantations and elixirs, just as she once had. You absolutely do not partake in that awful, hypocritical fortune-telling nonsense, which you loathe with a fierce passion. If anyone claims they can predict the future, they are either a deluded fool or a filthy liar. Unless you're entirely innocent on the last front, we should have your dignity, damn it. Pardon me. Your more casual interests include the art of the dance, which you find a particularly joyful and exhilarating activity, on top of being a great way to work out your frustrations when the words fail you. You've also taken to a bit of interior decorating in an attempt to make your tiny tent feel a bit more cozy. You're getting pretty good at it. You settled down on a new location quite recently, next to one of your few precious friends. You think you're finally going to introduce yourself to him soon. You can work up the nerve to, that is. You talk as existing oracle, and you speak in the tongue of the vivifier, even if it's a little off-putting. What will you do? I have no idea how that would sound, actually. So, we've got another girly voicing coming for Ellsee, which I'm not looking forward to. Handy disguise. Wait, what? Examine cloak. Handy disguise that keeps your identity somewhat hidden when you're out and about. You want to think of what would happen if you were to fall on the wrong hands. Your bliss is a normal source of boundless vitality, and that's no secret to the world at large. Who knows what ill-intentioned actors would do to you in order to gain access to this power? Here's what they do with it. There's only one person on the planet you trust to handle this sort of thing with goodwill, which is why you've been supplying him with a regular share of samples for sweeps now. Just wish he'd message you more often. Ellsee, take a peek outside your tent. So we know who that is, actually. You poke your head out just to make sure your coast is clear. Protective spell you routinely cast over the runaway hut doesn't always like to work. Favorite retreat is a common ritual at this point. Luckily, you have a few summons to help out with that. What the fuck is that? Nothing out of the ordinary here. Just a male Pridemane component of a vocal tri-headed beast of unknown origin, literally licking its slender-horned female integrant as the quiet and reserved back-trailing son of Vane takes a much-needed break. Yep, those are your custodians, alright. Something's building up in my nose, it's really annoying. Ellsee, commit arson. You already accidentally do that so often that you really don't need to be going around intentionally lighting things on fire. You always had a tenant, for goodness sake. I have a friend who also looks to commit arson on the regular. Ellsee, turn off the lights. Okay. Channel all of your inner strength into the fingers, and then you heavily... Hold on, let me just check. I'm just making sure the audio is balanced. You can't see it, but I can. Channel all of your inner strength in the fingers, and you heave your solar-powered battery into its proper slot. A second passes, and presto change magnifico. You stealthily harness the ethereal force of electricity in order to light up your humble hive. Ellsee, receive message. Wait a second. Do your eyes deceive you? Could that really be him? I sent the last message days ago. You have to read it to believe it. Ellsee, flop belly first onto your pillows and check Scorp. Well, what do you know? Tonight was really just full of surprises. The Scorp theme is called Formative Fundamentals. It allows quicker, more circular methods of accessing your fat chat fodder. The design itself is based on a legend of magical influences hidden in the past. A legend which you now know is very much real, unlike the plentiful naysayers. Part of me wonders why all of these 12 know each other, because it's literally established that Oshus has never spoken to Teal Girl. Never. So how do they all know each other? Hello. Oh, jumping the gun a bit. I guess that Oracle began trolling Macabre Exude. Hey, are you there? I know you're busy and all, but will you get a chance to? I'd love to talk for a bit. Just stop trolling Macabre Exude. The Oracle began trolling Macabre Exude. Exit Oracle, stop trolling Macabre Exude. Exit Oracle began trolling Macabre Exude. Hello! Exit Oracle, stop trolling Macabre Exude. Sometimes we began trolling Exit Oracle. Hello. I apologize for not getting to you sooner. I do know it's been several days. I'm afraid I do not have a lot of time to spare, but I figured you at least deserved a quick response. Ah, hi darling. Well, it's a little late now, but thanks for saying something. What's all you so wrapped up this time? I believe that I'm finally on the verge of a breakthrough. It's been a long time since I've felt so strongly about this. You actually have a chance to save this world. I plan to head back out and collect more specimens for further studying. Hopefully this will be the last time. Oh, that's good. I'm so glad to hear that. Oh, my voice cracking. Maybe I'll get there soon enough. Maybe let me know when you do. I, of all people, would definitely want to hear about your wonderful, miraculous cure. I'll do my best to keep you up to date with the latest information pertaining to my experiments, because without you, I plan to likely perish entirely. I hope you can forgive these past conversational transgressions, my dear. There are many things I want to do in this life, but you should know that ignoring you is certainly not one of them. However, you do still understand the importance of this work. Yes? Yeah, of course. I know it's a big deal. Especially to you most of all. I'm not to get you the thing that you shouldn't be doing or anything. It's really an admirable effort, and I believe in you. You're smart, but you're a big smarty pants. So if I get to see you a bit more is all. If this works out as well as I think it will, perhaps we can make that happen. That'd be great. Well, seeing as we both want that, I should be heading out now. Tonight's going to be a big night. Wish me luck out there, if you please. Okay. That was a weird okay. Most certainly, we wish you the best of luck. Please tell me I'll get clear, alright? I love you. Thank you. I will do my best for everyone. Can't I should stop trolling Assistant Oracle. Don't think asking too much, are you? Of course you admire your mate's for its ambition, but you can't help feeling ignored. A little pushed to the wayside. After you've given him everything, even in your literal lifeblood. Sorry, there's a bit of skin on my lip. Dead skin. You didn't used to feel like this. It's always been so easy to trust him in the integrity of your relationship. But since so long since you've last seen each other in person, you're starting to feel not very, very good lately. He just seems fine somehow. Is there something wrong with you? You have to ask for some reassurance. I think she's going through withdrawal. Ellsee, ask your friend for reassurance. Oh, look who it is. This is taking place before Arcjack enters. As White Noise explained, things aren't happening in chronological order anymore. Exit Oracle by controlling animated humorist. Arcjack? Animated humorist suggests that you suddenly cradle yourself into your preferred selection of ass cushioning, because you're about to intimately familiar with the non-existent cacophony of absolutely no sound at all. Oh, come on! You're reading these messages. I can tell you know. Wow, I'm particularly bewildered at your preternatural ability to know when I have absolutely nothing better to do with my time, other than wait for you to come blabbering in my direction. Let me know that Ellsee Reigns is currently the worldwide champion of staying the fucking obvious. I'm very impressed. Can you please not make fun of me right now? It's fun and good most of the time, but I'm really not in the mood tonight. Oh, fuck. I'm sorry? No, it's fine. I'm sorry too. It's just... I don't know. I feel strange. I'm feeling strange a lot lately. Rather stranger than usual. I want to talk seriously for a second, if that's okay. I mean, I think that's all I really do. I'm not sure what you expect to be different from regular me here. Just answer our question real quick and then I'll leave you alone. And be honest. Okay, sure. Do you think I'm likable? Do you think there's anything special about me or my personality? No. Hey! I meant no, that's not a question I'm going to answer, because it's really stupid to ask me that in the first place. Great, I can always count on you for helpful advice. Is this about your mate Sprit, the blue guy? Well, the other blue guy. I don't know him that well, other than the fact that he's kind of awkward. That's so overly polite, it makes me want to crawl into the nearest available hole whenever we make eye contact. Yeah, at least I think it could be about him. I might just be feeling needy. I'm honestly not sure what's wrong. Okay, how do I put this? Your asking me here isn't what you're really asking. Everyone's likable traits are like defecation hatches. It's like they're there to hold all the shit in, so it inevitably has to go down the drain. They're also inevitably stuck with a mess afterwards. You can clean it up, sure, but the smell never fully goes away. Arctic, what the fuck does that mean? It means you have to deal with your shit as it comes. You're you, and you have to stick with yourself no matter what, just like everyone else. Oh. I think your lesson kind of got lost in translation. But it's the thought that counts, so thank you, I guess? You're simply gonna have to deal with the shit of me not being the best at moral support. So my introspective lessons are already paying their dividends. Did you get those emotional juices flowing you like you wanted? Not really. But you gave me an honest answer at least. You're probably right. Maybe I'm just overthinking it. Well, if you weren't looking for the cold, hard truth, your biggest first faux pas wasn't even on those grounds. Buzz's heel, you were sporting an inch... This one's a bit... This one. I like this one. Okay. I will momentarily take my laptop off charge. Fuck. My freaking... Apparently, my headset wants to come undone as well. The Buzz's heel you're now sporting is attributed to picking just about the worst spokesperson on the planet when it comes to uplifting, endearing speeches. If some of you to pick me up, feel free to do so approximately 1 million expenses away from me. Advice free of charge, go and tell your friends. Oh, so this lesson is actually about you, huh? Pretty selfish to flip it on your own problems like that. I don't have to take this back talk. You here you are taking it. I will continue to take it, because it's me you're talking to. Maybe I was wrong about one other thing. Maybe you were the one who needs all that introspection, and should be handing off so everybody else all willy-nilly. Oh, of course. Why don't you just start from the ground up, and really align those goddamn chakras, so I expand my soul and stretch it all the way up to the fucking absolute tedium? You know what, why not give myself a new name just for fun? How about 2 new names? One of them will suck very hard, and I'll go right back to being plain old Arctic, I'm a jerk who'd rather die than take a single step into my blog, Vu-Rat. So you could never actually escape yourself. But, you know, whatever. Hey, you don't know that. Maybe something amazing could come out of a little break from your downer routine. Now you're just forcing my hand. Am I? Oh yeah, you have no idea what you just brought onto me. I'm gonna break my downer routine, alright? Well, and here I thought you were so adamant about continuing to do absolutely nothing, just like always. What I'm going to do is find even clever ways to continue doing absolutely nothing. Just you wait. RJ, come on, stop being dumb. Nope, this is happening. And remember, this is all your fault. Henry Human stopped trolling the oracle. Then proceeded to do just that in a display previously witnessed at the beginning of our tale. And what was that? Ah. Oh. You spring up to your feet, suddenly feeling energized. You think it's high time to capitalize on a promise you've been making to yourself for so long. Talking to object just tend to make you feel better, even if it's not one to put things in the most delicate ways possible. So you don your cloak and get ready to make a move. The nerve to visit your friend finally gathered. You need to act on it fast before you lose it all over again. It's about every single time you've tried before. There's a lot he needs to know about you. You don't know him far too long to be comfortable with keeping any secrets. You're also just plain tired of hiding your true colours from him. Metaphorically, that is. So now we know who plinked the thingy at his window. Basically, if you bid your guardians a quick goodbye, you don't get an answer in return, which you were fully expecting. This silent vigil in today's state has been a tradition of theirs for as long as you can remember. Tradition you don't entirely understand, but who are you to question it? If it's important to them, you are more than happy to leave them be. How long have I been recording? Only less than half an hour, wow. Besides, you don't always need words to communicate your feelings. At this moment, however, you wish you could use them. You wish you could scream, you could think to yourself as the throat closes up in horror. Your screaming could have been of any use at all, had he heard you. Most of all, you wish you had done something sooner. But you're so very tired of wishing, and you're so very tired of feeling helpless. Uh-oh. You have to find him. Ellsee, search Hive. Is this portal supposed to be active? I don't know. Most of the time inside, it seems to either fall into the ground or being broken in some way. This means it must have shaken this place hard. So that would also explain the tear in its roof right above the ablution chamber. It doesn't really look like it was caused by a thing of that size. His respite lock is in no different condition, and he's also not here. You start to freak out a little. Within a giant hole in the wall, all you can see now are a couple of cans strewn about on the floor, which is somehow split in half, a wood container of some sort, and one actually a custodian. Ellsee, examine hole in the wall. I've no idea what could possibly cause this. No ransacker would go this far for breaking in and entering. That's why supposed to be sneaky, you think. There's no clear-cut explanation for the ruined hive, much less the pillars and everything else. We can find yourself a witness. Ellsee, interview witness. Before you even start your first question, Alexis Lucis is already hopping around your feet and screaming his little lungs out. He says that not too long ago his boy fell through the window and came back inside covered in mud. Clear Silver didn't even acknowledge his dear old Lucis. He arranged a pile of papers around him before falling asleep, only to be assaulted by a strange floating thing a few hours later. Oh, he had tried to protect his boy, but there's so many loud noises outside that he simply hid by the refrigerator. Before he even had the chance to react, there was a loud crash and the rushing sound of wind, and then his boy had gone, the entire hive shook with the explosive force. He says that he's been trying to find him for a long time, but he can't leave the room. He's extremely worried. He's extremely worried. His boy always does such troubling things after he goes to sleep. Nothing good can come out of this situation. He's begging you to come help find his boy. Yeah, of course, does not understand any of that. An unfortunate turn of events, as chatting with Fauna usually tend to work out in your favour. As far as his obvious distress, you pick the little guy up and offer him a few solemn pats on the head. This seems to comfort him well enough. Oh, someone's car's beeping outside. He decides to perch atop your head, ready to aid you in your, thus far, fruitless quest. Also, check computer for clues. You're surprised this thing is intact, considering all the catastrophic events that seem to have happened in all around Arctic's hive. There's a normal functional computer. Well, maybe functional is a bit of a stretch because goddamn this thing is slow, but your point still stands. We don't want to see and invade his privacy, but hang on a second. Group memo? You can't even remember the last time you had one of these. There's absolutely no way Arctic would be willing to stick himself into one unless there was a very good reason for it. If this is some sort of important group-wide announcement, surely you should have been invited, right? You proceed to investigate a conversation we already read. The picture becomes crystal clear once you find out who orchestrated said memo, or you are so very angry. Ellsee, try and moderate for answers. I'm a humorist, we're in Kuna. What the hell is going on? Ah, shit, what's up? Man, you were all the way in. Can't you be speedy? This one was going to take you at least another couple bits for Hunkamaniac to slam a fragile ego, but I gotta admit I'm proud. You sound chipper, though. I thought you changed your tune a long while back. Also, would appreciate it if you joined us for the game before this is complained about it the whole time, but they can't ask too much out of you, I guess. So do you guys finally agree to canoodle your noodles? Oh my god, shut up! Stop saying all this weird nonsense! Alright, humorist, now exit to Oracle. What were you talking about in that memo? Where's Arcjeg? Why is his hive destroyed by all these cryptic stone structures? Why wasn't I including the memo about whatever the important game is in the first place? Answer me! Oh, it's you. Go fuck yourself. What the actual fuck is your problem? I've hardly ever spoken a word to you in my life, and then you start acting like I'm the worst person on the planet. What did I do to make you hate me so much? Seriously, I want to know now. Alright then. I'll tell you exactly what the problem is in plain terms. Listen to me and listen good, Ellsee. I know who you are and I know what you've done. If you really want to help him, and if you really care about any of the people in this group, then stay back. We don't need your bullshit inside this game. Do not fuck with me. Huh. Well, seems like you won't be getting any help from for the time being. At least not from this asshole. I feel like you have a lot of catching up to do. Interesting. The moon. You're now Arctic, currently more than a little pained after experiencing a very bad cause of landing right on your face. So you're lying on a big round plate, suspended by mysterious means in the middle of an endless white void. What will you do? Arctic, recap your situation. Okay, let's see. You act out for a second. For the second consecutive time in the same night, after being pushed through the weird portal by a very tangible game construct, as your skull's gentle throbbing insists on reminding you. You're here, which is just about as specific as you can get because you have no fucking clue where you are. Oh yeah, before you all that, you experience what can only be described as your own personal brand of Seventh Circle of Hell. The most ridiculous day you ever had, as it turns out. Arctic, ponder recent events. I'd rather not. Arctic, get in contact with Taz. Haha, okay, sure. There's nothing you want to say to her right now, or ever for that matter. Because you have no way of doing that. The computer is back at your hive, and you have no time to grab a more portable means of communication in a rush. So you're stuck here with nothing but your scythe, the scrapbook you don't want to open, and some soda. Arctic, worry about the fate of your planet. Oh, Pardon me. You can't. No matter how much you may want to care, your apathy always has a way of running deeper than your fear of or your latent sentimentality. You can't bring yourself to do that. Not right now. Arctic, change your surroundings. You know what? You think you're just going to stay right here, with your head firmly matted against this cold grey discus forever. Examining it very closely, not like there was much checking around here anyway. You suppose if this game wants you here for a reason, you may as well try to find out what it is. Who knows, maybe the answer is standing right here in front of you. Wouldn't that be a nice surprise? Yes, Arctic, get up. Oh. Interesting. Hello, you. What is that thing? Wow. How long am I recording now? It's like not. It's not as long as before. Greetings. You must be Arctic Vurat. 'Tis nice to meet you, Hero of Breath. Are you okay? Just what in the hell do you think is so funny about this situation? I'm not honestly too sure. What do you find funny about it? Really, all this laughter is kind of freaking me out a little. You're freaked out? You're freaked out? Do you even grasp what it means to be freaked out? Tell me, which actually sounds more alarming to you? Some random idiot you just met taking a moment to laugh hysterically for no apparent reason, or gargantuan mass of air revealing itself to be a mystical hall of transmogrifying energy, manifesting into a blue dragon thing right in front of your eyeballs? Oh, it also somehow knows your name, which is also a sign that things are about to be very normal. Ah, right, sorry. Where are my manners? Should I have stayed silent at first? That would have given you more time to collect yourself. Let's try doing that now. I have no idea what we should be doing, blue dragon thing. As for me, I think my main course of action will be to try and suppress these mesmeric burst of terror that about an inch or so away from coating my drawers. Oh, yeah, I forgot about this. Yeah. Oh, and, Now that was pretty funny. We should have done the laughing bit here. There's no need for any of that. I beg to wholly differ. Look, let's just agree to disagree on this. I'm really holding myself back right now. That thing you just saw? That was a desperate cry for help. There's someone who needed to get their emotions out of their chest cavity somehow, in order to retain what little sanity they have left. Is rambling also a cry for help? Maybe. I mean, what else am I supposed to do here? Just go have a big plate in the middle of literal nowhere, to like a goddamn magic dragon. If this is a fairy tale scenario that this game wanted to drop me into, now I'd like to be written the fuck out. I'm afraid that's a little, well, impossible. My intention is only to provide you with valid information. Rest assured, if you give me just a moment to do so, you'll feel much better. Will I? Will I really? Trust me, you will. Maybe not as much as you wish, but for the moment, definitely. I've given this spiel more times than either of us can count. I know it's most likely outcomes. Isn't that just stellar? Okay, fine, go for it, I guess. I don't need to recover from stress of insanity anyway. Maybe they're hiding just off the edge of this platform. I would prefer it if you didn't tread over there yet. Otherwise, My name is Zayan Puryu. I consider myself a friend, and I'm here to help you prepare for the journey ahead. I'm one of the 13 forces will be integral during you and your friends' play. Forces that are key to reaching the ultimate goal your group will aspire to. In the process of your entry, you also release me from my confines. I then accompany you through the portal inside the medium. My role is that of the denizen of breath, and of the 12 aspects of existence. These 12 aspects are all embodied by your party. You, Archcheck, are a unique vessel given the chance to grow into your own personal class, set to yield great power, and all in due time, of course. We are two halves of a whole, a bond yet to be formed. First, I serve you as to act as both an ally and as the guardian of the new world. We'll be molded by your actions taken right here on this platform. Okay, that's all well and good. As beautiful as anything else I've heard so far. So I'll toss my reservations aside for the moment and just try to roll with this. Even if my night's been pretty fucking long and arduous one. You must be feeling a little on the pretty fucking piss side of things. Anyway, you haven't actually said anything useful and I'm still confused as hell. Vague, intriguing, and try-hard awe-inspired wonder aren't really going down my protein chute in a particularly smooth way. Should I spare me the trouble, it would be nice if we could just get to the simple answers that point me in a productive direction. Where specifically are we in this oh-so-wonderful medium full of merriment? That'd be a good start. Okay, give me a second. Okay, back. I've got some food. I got myself a lemon and raspberry tart, which would be interesting. Okay, so, like I said, the specifics of that are up to you. We are hardly anywhere as of now. You're standing on top of a blank slate. A canvas can also only be filled in once you show me what you want, and most importantly, need. This will be made as a representation of yourself, your desires and your challenges. It won't be something you'll find pleasant to navigate, but will be tailored to encourage and facilitate your growth. Well, I get it now. You and also whatever other mysterious associates you may have, just to give me a trial of intrigue-flavored wheat bits, in any attempt to lead me towards some sort of amorphous self-realization fantasy. I say you, for some reason, think it's possible. Good you for clearing it all up for me, while also clearing up absolutely nothing. I press forward with full confidence, still knowing a damn thing about the current situation. To be fair, we're not allowed to just hand you the answers. If we did, there would be nothing to learn. Besides, the finite details you seek can't be explained until this land generates itself. I believe giving you too broad a scope would be beneficial at this stage. I can, however, give you a general explanation. A planet entirely unique to you will soon be manifested, part of a larger system of planets called the Medium. Before you entered and brought me in with you, this place contained nothing. This empty shell of a world has been through many cycles, neighbouring your universe in all of them. It's been this way for an amount of time too vast to be quantified. From your perspective, I mean. I've been bound to it for just as long, as well as the rest of my counterparts. Each of us represents a piece of the central force this medium revolves around, the nucleus at its heart. Commonly referred to as Skya. It's a living force, enveloped by a powerful shield that we must start to break, by completing your entry and misdirecting the meteor you've just escaped. Hang on, that doesn't sound right. That's not a little bit right until my entry, but I was briefed on what would be happening beforehand by one of my friends. It's actually way worse at explaining things than either you or this game, which is kind of impressive. Anyway, he mentioned that my hive, and also me, if it didn't make it up for weather reason, would end up crushed under a metric shit on a molten skyrock. I can't really confirm what happened after I tossed here, but I don't think he was feeding me any falsehoods. At least not purely technical ones. So by all accounts, that section of the planet should be a debris-filled sinkhole by now. With my Ellsee in the middle of the rubble. Poor guy. If you had failed to activate your gates, then yes, that would be correct. But as you successfully completed your task, a second gate formed above your home, keeping the meteor from destroying the section of your planet. The meteor has instead barreled into a shield I just mentioned. Something quite the novelty, actually. This new setup was all created for your benefit, though. Oh, shit. So, the meteors are just a time-based mechanic meant to scare you shitless into compliance. What's even the point of sending them away like that if they're completely irrelevant? That's where you are mistaken. If you just have always had a purpose. In all past sessions, they were used to destroy what remains of the player's planet in order to provide an incentive to clear the way for something new. But this time around, your planet will be used as an integral component of the game's puzzle. And what's the point of this Skya place in our specific puzzle? Simple. Just crack it open and use what's inside. Why? I do not... This... Okay, I'm just afraid of those sorts of songs playing because I might get, freaking copyright claim again. That's something you should worry about yet. But it will be. Yes. I mean, art is just so important tonight. I heard all this stuff earlier. I have to be both important and useful, which shows I can't exactly wear on my chest with pride. Oh, does it want to thank you or not, apparently? So what's my one-way ticket to becoming a god among worms and playing this magical game? There are many ways you could go about this, some more effective than others. The self-determination aspect is quite important. The exact path of your choosing is ultimately up to you. Your specific class has a tendency to be a bit troublesome. I'm sure you will come to your own conclusions and rise above this challenge. New experiences and progress will make everything clearer in due time. But you can't take your first step until you have someone to walk on. His class, for reference, is a bard. Which, in Homestuck, a bard would invite destruction on to or through their aspect. And breath is symbolic of a bunch of things, which I won't get into that anytime soon. It's way far beyond my understanding. Well, I'd sure like to have it, please. Where is this blissful fantasy world which will allow me my true self to blossom? So I feel a little cheated. My current review of your game is not looking squeaky clean right now, let me tell you. We've barely gotten to talk about you. That's the best part of the process. Mine is, anyway, so please, go ahead. I'm calling all the airs for you. I think you're using that phrase wrong. Yes, I am. I don't want to talk about myself. Oh, why is that? Because there isn't really much to say. I don't do anything, ever. Things just happen to me. I don't make things happen. I actually like dates had a wild propensity for that overall. So a special day to you outside of these current circumstances. You could say that. It's a lot. Of what? Just a lot. Well then, that's all I needed to hear. What? Really? No, not really. Fuck you. Why didn't you tell me the reason this day is so special to you? It's my wriggling day. Your what? My wriggling day. In the story of a new personal lunar cycle specific to me, being as it was the first official calendar destination of my spawning from artificial birthing process. Wow, your speech really has such a way with words. Thanks. Ugh, this is pointless, exactly why I didn't want to get into it in the first place. Now, I think there are other reasons. Except that there is something carefully tucked away beneath your prickly exterior that's crying out for a helping hand. Yet you refuse to let it out. That alone says more than 1,000 words that it could. As I mentioned, I have dealt with your kind before. I know your workings better than you yourself might realize them. I know where your true morals lie, because I embody those ideals. You wouldn't be here with me otherwise. Ideals? What ideals could I possibly have? I can't even stand on my own 2 feet on my better days. How do you tell me that I have high-minded allegiances to anything? Okay, let me take a bite out of my lemon tart, because I'm not... actually don't know if I'm going to like this or not. I'm very fussy with food, you see. Just taste that lemon curd. Okay, anyway. Aspects are a congregation of various essential needs with a working soul. Existence would not be palpable without them. Breath is the air which you take into your lungs. To make your body move to propel you forward. The embodiment of the tangible need for freedom, for growth. Oh, you did it for me. You reflect that. You've always done so. The beauty of choice is the thrill of not being bound by a singular confining option. The power to change. It is what you are. It's what we are. And change is what you will do. All players start this game in the same way. What you must consider is how you want to differ from others that you share these confines with. Break free of a mold made for yourself, by yourself. How will you do so? That is the question which your ultimate quest will be based on. At the end of it, I'll be waiting for you. I'd really like for you to come and find me again, Archjack. But if you can't, I promise that I will be there to lift you back up, so you're able to keep moving forward. Oh. All the land's for me. Ooh. Land of Mirage and Monochrome. So that's Arctic's planet. Be the other blue guy. Oh, we know who this is. Oh, there's something else beneath that lemon curd. Ooh. Serum injected into the subject's bloodstream. Standing by for evaluation. It's Rochi! Ah! The resurgence of vital signs after 2 minutes. Documenting results. Other blue guy, document results. Results remain undocumented. Reason, writing pad and writing utensil missing from service tray. The system may have taken tray items. How's he using them to document your observations for you? He is not. This is absolutely useless, but his effort appreciated. Subject revive. Uh-oh. Subject vital suddenly at peak activity. Strength seems temporarily increased. Complete revitalization debatable. Hostility displayed. Armor strength is compromised. Remind the system that loosening is the opposite of tightening. Affirmative action now regretfully necessary. Terminating subject. Other blue guy, terminate. Uh-oh. Body desecrated. Blood everywhere. Sigh low and upset. Narrative style changing accordingly. Unless it's delegated to your assistant. Sure he will perform admirable work in cleaning it up. You should know what to do from here. You're better to do it yourself, of course, but you don't have the time to deal with the menial issues. So it's going to be a big night. Not just for you, but for the whole planet. Enter name. I'm not sure how I both feel about this tart. So it looks like something I usually wouldn't eat, but I'm just trying to eat it anyway. I'd rather just have a jam tart. Your name is Osius Colliard, but we already knew that. You're a very ambitious man with an equally ambitious goal: planetary salvation. The majority of your life has been spent pursuing the restoration of departed souls, with hopes of eventually arriving at untethered immortality. Despite these seemingly impossible goals, you have made large strides in progress over the last 2 sweeps, all thanks to the addition of lime blood, which you have discovered to hold potential life-giving properties. It is a gift and a close guarded secret bestowed upon you by your mate spirit. Your current research focus on the reanimation of parasitic undead that roam in the wasteland that you reside in. A desolate skull-titan graveyard littered with the bones of those fallen giants. Your Lucis, a monolithic annelid known as an O-worm, helps with keeping the walking cadavers at bay by eating most of your specimens. It's bothersome at times, but being left with nothing but slim pickings for your work would just make your research site safer. Especially it's the thought that counts. Regardless, you've managed to make do. One of your most recent successes have been relegated to cleaning duties with Treasury Assistant Rogi. It's artificially created by using various body parts you scrounged from corpses, then imbued with lime blood, which need to be replenished every so often. Its name is an acronym of Rust, Ochre, Green, and Indigo, after the blood shades it was crafted from. It took you some time to come up with that. Might not be very good at naming things. Sorry. His body is certainly not capable of self-maintenance, though he is much more even-tempered than your other test subjects. As a downside, Rogi seems to be incapable of higher cognition and reasoning, relegated to more base impulses and simple directives. You have hypothesized this is maybe due to his never having had an original soul to draw from. Significantly lower in your priority list, you have a couple of other interests that keep you occupied on the very off chance that you aren't busy with your work. You have spent a fair amount of time investigating the properties of your transmuted epiphysis cerebri, a strange mutation that manifested after you went through a major traumatic event when you were 7. It's disconcerting and has brought you many a sleepless night. You believe it has something to do with bouts of dizzying headaches you experience from time to time, unpleasant events that leave you fuzzy at the edges, something resulting in mild visual hallucinations. Okay, so this was mentioned in Snowman Blood, but we don't know what he's talking about yet. You've spent a fair amount of time investigating the properties of a transmuted... I just read that. In the process of looking for new insight into your condition, you have developed a certain fascination with the concepts of alternate dimensions. It's an esoteric place to look for answers, but you might as well exhaust all your options, as unlikely as they are to yield any results. You've yet to arrive at any concrete answers. I love this song. You can sometimes hear static-like sounds through your multiversal communicator. These incidents have been happening with increasing frequency, and the dreading noise tends to stick in your mind well after you've shut communication down. It's quite enough that it doesn't bother you if you don't think about it. You talk like it's macabre exude, and you always keep yourself eyes looking forward in a conversation. What will you do? Oh, just mourn the loss of your subject. You can't mourn something that was ever alive to begin with. Lots of you had them, at least. Their soul remains lost, and you are so close. You will, however, more the time your associate spent stitching that body back together, only for it to be complete waste. Whilst no sedative in the world can quell a burst of vitality that comes over the subject after the revivification process, the unbridled hostility is also an unfortunate side effect. It was for the best thing that you ended this relationship with extreme prejudice. Osius, examine poster of troll body. This no mere poster is a legitimate document salvaged from the Renaissance. Thousands of research hours documents breakthroughs, or irrevocably lost in the chaos that tore down the foundation of the world apart. This is one of the precious few times to have survived this long. It belonged to a great scientific mind of the period, whose work advanced his field by a very significant margin. A true vanguard of the empirical and technological. I think this is Oshis' ancestor, if I remember correctly. I'm not sure though. It gives you to be able to display study of their ideal troll figure on your walls. A great shame is it's so torn. You really wish you could see what the complete picture looked like. Oshis, examine parasite. Ah yes, here's the reason your test subjects roam around post-mortem. These cryptic little creatures who embed themselves within the host body in order to take hold of their motor functions and use it as an incubator for their young. Their lifespan is rather short when left without this borrowed protective shell. Because the body eventually starts to deteriorate with time. If it hadn't already been rotting at the start. Once it's been used to its limit, the parasite will leave the old host in search of a fresher option, and the cycle begins anew. All these horrid repulsive husks housing wretched creatures that only exist to self-replicate makes you sick. Sick with curiosity. So little is known about them, their biology, detailed behavioural patterns, origins, is a field ripe for study. Since you're the only scientifically minded soul for expanses, it might as well be you who does the studying. Pretty keenly in several pages worth of notes. It's quite the nuisance, true, but you've nonetheless found a shared give and take with the strange life forms. After the extraction, the cadaver left behind is ripe for testing. Oh, she's check computer. Oh, that was a weird bite. Ugh. If I could just shoot out of nuts. Have you had time to check your supercomputer lately? Would you like to keep in more touch with your friends? You simply cannot waste hours on aimless chatting. They're always free to contact you, of course, but the off chance that there is something critical import going on. If you're able to get a response with your multiversal communicator, it would also respond post-haste, which you previously mentioned, that's not happened so far. Now let's take a peek. Might as well take a quick peek while Roger finishes his duties. But the faint wailing echo in the background is probably still not done. The sculpt theme is essential elements, an alternate version of formative fundamentals. Both themes represent the same thing, but you prefer the cleaner cut of this one. You're a bit of an orderly perfectionist, which is why you like to keep your screen free of clutter. Thinking of which, something about the theme runs off. Where did that group chat come from? It's running your step's balance. Oh, your mistress messaged you again. You should answer her while you still have the chance. Oh, she's answer Ellsee. Oh, yes. This is horrible. Please answer. I really need to speak with you. I wouldn't have bothered you again as soon as it wasn't serious. This is definitely an emergency. I think. I don't think. It is for sure. I think it's just awful right now. I'm kind of freaking out. I don't like what's been happening at all. It'd be really helpful if you could just answer me. Oh, just please. Oh, just. Oh, just. Oh, just, you bitch. I didn't mean that. I'm just really stressed out right now. Where are you? Why are you doing it taking so goddamn long? It's been hours since we talked. I know you said to be busy for a while, but do you ever take any breaks at all? Get over here! I'm gonna die of sheer panic and distress before you answer me at this rate. I'd just be swallowing the mud. But call it slush would be so my nerves. Ugh! What? What is going on? Here you are! Yes, here I am. Why are you yelling and begging so frantically? Did I miss something? I don't think I was gone that long, all things considered. I guess you weren't. It's just scary when I really need to get in touch with you and you have no idea when you might respond. Last time it took several days for you to get back to me. But you're here now, so that's a relief. Are you listening? I have a lot to tell you. When you can't say you have to leave, you've got to stay and listen. Please calm down, my dear. I'm incredibly sorry for the wait and I am listening. I didn't know anything of importance was happening tonight. Anything was happening, period, to be completely honest. Nothing's happening? Things are very much happening, yes. Okay, so, I just told you earlier, I decided to try and visit Arctic again. Things didn't work out like usual. was thinking back to my tent, but on the way I saw a huge meteor straight through the sky. Right toward his hive. So I panicked and ran back to try and help him. But I made it all the way there, and the place was complete wreck. It didn't even look like the meteor had actually struck, which was really weird. It was different kind of damage, but Archer wasn't anywhere. Put this computer to see if I could figure something out, and lo and behold, I found this big mirror essentially to everyone but me. He was all nonsense rambling about this game we were supposed to be playing, or something. Me seemed to be related to that, so that wasn't fun. I'll turn around for Archer for a bit more, and after that, just in case. Then head back home and figured I need to tell you everything, since you probably won't have even seen the memo either. Just don't look at things. It's kind of a big deal. I'm still pretty shaken up. Because I can see the memo right here. It all sounds incredibly hectic and nerve-wracking. I do worry for Vurat. But must I really read this nonsense about the game? It seems rather trite in comparison to everything else. So again, not just saying a legitimate group activity in over 2 sweeps now. We've got a reason if you ask me. If the rest of our friends wish to play it, then that is their business. I, on the other hand, am not interested. I'm not a... what's the term? Gamer? It's not about being a gamer. Yeah, sure, I don't like the sound of it myself. But doesn't it seem like this is an opt-in kind of thing? So please read the memo and get back to me when you're done. Also, it might be good to note that you're going to be working with Calendar. I'm sorry about that. I don't think you have a choice in the matter. What? That is... no. Oh, here's check memo. No. Absurd. Absurd, impossible, pointless, nonsensical. Wait, what's this about planetary annihilation by Amicia? What's about being forced to leave everything behind? No. No. This isn't happening. What a tasteless farce. You're not leaving. You can't leave. Sorry. Every few pages I take a bite out of the raspberry lemon tart. Oh, so seek clarification. Oh, huh. Well, so now we know why he's afraid of his eyes. Oh, God. What the fuck is that? My carpet exit began trolling grandiose saturation. What do you know about this damned game? What do you have to do with it? This is awfully accusatory and quite a bit brusque. Don't forget your manners, Colliad. Especially if you're going to throw baseless accusations at me over a matter you clearly know nothing about. I have no more or less to do with it than you do, nor do I possess any extra morsels of knowledge. This game is also undeniably real, by the by, so I imagine you're already in a fit over the mere idea. How can it possibly be real? This is pure fiction. A child's wildest fantasies running unchecked. We'll be able to facilitate such a ludicrous endeavour. Technology like that does not exist. Not achieve processing power, code, or material mechanics. Even those state-of-the-art reality warping games are nothing but figments of imagination that we take part in. I don't believe it. I cannot believe it. Gorgeous sentiment, really, truly. I am moved. On any other night, I would fully agree with it. Unfortunately, I've already seen enough evidence of this ludicrous endeavour to know it is undeniably in motion. Loath as I am to admit, I am powerless in this situation, as so are you. You're going to have to face this truth, just the same as I have. Let's wish to meet an early end and cause the death of several others. There's nothing you can do about it. You may continue to deny this new reality for a while longer, but when the time comes for you to take action, you'll find yourself running short on excuses to cower behind. And you do well to step on this challenge for all our sakes. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a game of my own to attend to. We will be speaking later when it is necessary. I'm sure you are looking forward to it. I'm actually going to stop here because I'm getting tired. I won't take a break either. Oh. You can't see that, can you? No. I opened another tab. Yeah. So we've got a lot here. Not much for me to talk about right now, other than we're seeing Oceus, who we saw in Snowbound Blood. If you've watched me play that, or if you're waiting for me to play that after I read this. So yeah. Jesus. Thanks for watching. If you did, leave a like because the last one got 1 dislike. It's making me cry. Yeah. I've really got nothing to do, so I know it's petty, but just seeing like 1 dislike on a video and nothing else kind of like, you know, makes me feel like a bit shit. So, thanks for watching, or listening, and I'll see you again when I eventually read again.